everyone, or good afternoon, I guess. Pablo Perez from the US Embassy, and it's a pleasure for me to be here with you all. It's a little weird, I gotta say, to do like a pre-record presentation, but still, I really thank the organizers for inviting me and for having me here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. So the topic for today is gonna be, how can you change your community through volunteerism? But most importantly, youth volunteerism. So let me start by saying, who knows what volunteerism is? So volunteerism is the practice of providing time and skills for the benefit of other people and causes rather than for financial benefits. That's the definition straight from the dictionary. However, what does that mean? Well, basically it means to make people happy without expecting anything in return. That's really great, isn't it? But it's not easy to put yourself into this position, because you have to enjoy it. You have to also be happy and make people happy. So, it's really difficult. However, it's not impossible. That's why I'm here, to show you why it's important and why it should be fun to be a volunteer. Let me tell you something. There are several benefits of being a volunteer. For instance, I don't know, you can meet new people or build a new community. You can gain knowledge and understanding of other ways of life. It could also boost your self-esteem if there's some skills that you need to practice, like public speaking or like help others or just like socializing with other people. That's something that you can also do. And also, most importantly, I guess the biggest benefit is like to be happier, be happy, to enjoy it, to smile on your face, right? But also, let me give you some examples about volunteerism. So you can volunteer anywhere, grocery store, to a hospital, or like you can donate old clothes or volunteer at a kitchen to serve food for like homeless people, or maybe you can donate some blankets to like a homeless shelter. But again, there are a lot of like volunteering activities out there. You just gotta be creative, but also it has to be fun. For instance, I really enjoy sports. Sports are my passion. So I play tennis, I play football, soccer, and American football too. And every time I have a chance to volunteer in any of these games, I just do it. In 2014, during the World Cup, the football soccer World Cup in Brazil, I had the chance to volunteer for this big event with FIFA, and it was great. It was a really game changer for me because I was able to meet a lot of people, different nationalities, different languages, but in the end, one single objective, which was to make people happy. So it was a game changer. I've also done it in like several international tennis tournaments, in also golf, American football. During the Super Bowl 5 years ago, I had the chance. It was great. It was really awesome. But again, my point is like there are a lot of activities or a lot of opportunities for you guys to volunteer out there, but you just have to be creative and most importantly, find the one that you think fits you, the one that makes you happy, the one that, will encourage you to do things right and not make you feel like, oh man, what am I doing this? No. Should be the opposite. So this takes me to this graph. So I'm sure when you guys look at this graph, you'll be like, oh wow, what is this? Sri Lanka, Turkmenistan, Myanmar, the top three? What? Well, yeah, it was surprising to me too. And the US is already, it's all the way on the 5th place. Yeah, it's weird and really rare to see this graph, right? But most importantly, and one of the main focuses of this presentation is this one. volunteer rate by age group. And this is where everything starts. So you can see here that the lowest rate, it's the millennials, right? Between 16 and 28, 21% of volunteerism. And the highest one is the baby boomers, so 46 to 64. That's so surprising, isn't it? But guess what? This millennials group, they are missing the bus. They have the chance to change their community, not only through volunteering, but also through youth. They are young, they want to make things happen, they want to change things, they learn so fast, they can adjust and adapt to any circumstances. And this age group, the millennials, will want us at some point. So this group is very important because they are gonna be the ones changing our communities, the ones leading by example. So we gotta pay a close attention to these guys. Then you see the Generation X, which is 29 to 45. Maybe I'm part of that generation. So, and this is, I mean, 29% is also really, really high though, compared to the baby boomers, 28. So they're both there on top. And this is a group that most of them should be professionals, should have a job, maybe families. And regardless of that, they're putting a lot of effort and energy on volunteering. And based on the set skills they have and the experience, they also could be some sort of mentors to the millennials when it comes to volunteerism. So it's very important though. We saw Myanmar, Turkmenistan on top, and the US on fifth. But when you compare youth volunteerism in the US, is one of the top 3 countries for youth volunteerism. And that's so amazing. But let me tell you why it's important for you young guys to volunteer. Well, besides building character and finding out what excites you guys in life, volunteering also teaches you some important life skills that normally you don't learn them at school. I know you have to learn them the hard way, one way or the other. For instance, you can learn some work ethic and gain confidence, or perhaps you can gain some public speaking knowledge and feel more comfortable talking out loud. Or perhaps you can be a mentor or a leader. I mean, there's several roles that you can take on, especially for you young guys that are going to be the next ones leading the world, and that's so exciting. But let me say, how do you guys think that volunteering benefits your community? I mean, there are so many ways to volunteer your community, you know, to benefit your community. I mean, you can, you know, make new friends, or you can ask your current friends to create a group. Since you all share like common interests, you can come up with some sort of plan and volunteer at a basketball game, or maybe help at the church, or maybe help at hospitals. Or, I mean, you know, there are so many things that you can do. You can also make new contacts. And also, volunteering also strengthens your ties to the community. And you can also extend your support network by exposing people to common interests. I don't know. Perhaps you can connect with your neighborhood, or like come up with some fun and fulfilling activities, or like do like a charity run or like a charity event. Or there are several things that you can do. And based on this, it's why I decided to give this presentation, because I'm currently living here in Vilnius, Lithuania. And one of the goals I had when I came was to create of young people to impact their communities in a positive way. One of my main jobs at the embassy is to do cultural and educational exchanges. So basically send Lithuanians to the US to work or to study. And this doesn't apply only to Lithuania, it applies to like any country in the world. We have several programs there that you guys can apply, and I will speak a little bit more about it. But the folks who go, and I'm going to speak to Lithuania in specific, the folks who go, or the Lithuanians who go to the US, we call them J1. And that's because of the type of visa they get when they travel. So these J1, when they come back, they automatically become like alumni of the department, of the State Department. So I put together a group of J1 alumni and explained them what I wanted to do, the benefits of volunteering, and I want to create this association so you guys can stay connected and also create positive impact in your communities. And they were so excited to hear that. It's like, wow, this is great. Yeah, we want to move forward. Let's do it. Boom. So this, right, we have them all over the world, as I said, right? And we have, when they go to the US during around August or September, if they are in the US when this New York City Marathon, one of the biggest sports events in the world, happened, we put together a group of J1s who volunteer at the marathon. And so far it has been the longest and the largest, and the most diverse volunteer group in the marathon. So over 300 volunteers that we put together on a yearly basis. They have been really successful, and they have been also invited to like the United Nations to give speeches and to connect with people there, because they're leading by example, and they are also like an example to their communities as well. I have a video that I would like to show you, but I will wait until the end of the presentation so I don't mess up with the rest of the presentation. But let me continue moving forward. So back to the case of Lithuania. So this is the logo of the J1 Alumni Association in Lithuania. The group I wanted to put together, and I was able to do it. I don't know if this would have been possible without the help of this wonderful J1. So basically, they're doing all of the work. I'm just like, I'm the one who came up with the idea, and they took it from there. Though they're great, they're amazing. This is the logo they created for their association. As you can see, that's the American flag, and on the bottom you have three colors: yellow, green, and red, that represent the colors of the Lithuanian flag. So these guys got together to create the association. They register it, legally established the association around May, June, and in July, they have their first public event. And this was during the 4th of July parade the embassy hosted here in Vilnius. As you can see here in the picture, they were wearing like this shirts with the association logo, and they were carrying like US flags. It was really, really amazing. It was great because they were able to connect with other alumni and connect as well with the ambassador, who was really impressed with their work with the association, and he sent them this letter to for their participation and to encourage them to stay in touch, and also invited them to his residence because he was really impressed with the work they're doing here in Lithuania. Here's a picture of the president and the vice president of the association with the ambassador. In there, they had the chance to discuss several topics, but most important, youth volunteerism, and explain to the ambassador their plan to spread the word about volunteering here in Lithuania and engage people and attract members to their association. It was really, really great. Also, the second event they had, the second public event, if you will, was During the Vilnius Marathon, they volunteer at water stations. So something similar to what we do with the J1s in New York City. They decided to follow that model and do it here in Vilnius, and it was great. It was very successful. They even had their own like masks here. You see the black mask with the logo, and showing the volunteers badge. It's great. They had a really nice time. They volunteered for over 14 hours. So that's something that these guys should be recognized. they're great. You can see here more pictures. The water stations with the runners on the back that get the Mino Castle, and again, this was a great event, one of the biggest sports events in the Baltic region, and really had a fantastic time. Our organizers, the marathon organizers, were really satisfied with the work, and at the end of the marathon, they told me, hey, you know what, your group is great. We want you guys next year. So when I shared this with all the alumni and the volunteers, they were like, sure, we're gonna come. So it was a total of 43 volunteers that the association put together for this Vilnius Marathon. It was the second largest group of volunteers from a single organization, and that's huge for their first year. Hopefully next year they can make it happen, and maybe why not duplicate those numbers and have almost 100 volunteers? That would be awesome. They also had at Cathedral Square, the main square here in Vilnius, and they hosted different events. But one of the most important events they had, they wanted to connect with people with disabilities, like folks on like wheelchairs or some sort of disability, because they feel like this type of folks, they don't get exposure to like certain things, and they consider it's important for them to include them in their communities. So they decided to invite the Lithuanian Paralympic Committee to their tent to speak about their experience in the Paralympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. They were really happy with this invitation. The Paralympic Committee invited 2 gold medalists, and they brought the medals, the gold medals, the silver medals. Folks were able to like touch them, and they took pictures, and it was really great. You normally don't have opportunity to touch like gold medals from like Olympic Games and all that. It was great. One of these Paralympic gold medalists was really impressed with not really impressed, really thankful for the invitation, and he decided to donate this blue ball. He's a gold medalist, sport called goalball. This is the ball that he used during the Paralympic Games in Rio when he won the gold medal, one of the balls. And he decided to donate this to the US Embassy and to the ambassador. And it was great. It was really great. We weren't expecting this. And obviously I was invited to hand it to the ambassador on behalf of the J1 Alumni Association, and it was a great event. So, but I mean, again, my point is, people with same interests, young people who wanted to change their community, got together and boom, created or did a huge impact in their community in one day. So that's amazing. All of you can do that. It's just a matter of like, thinking, do I want to make people happy? Yeah. Does this make me happy? Yeah. Sure. Then let's move forward. Let's do it. Why not? You never know where you end up. I mean, seriously, I've been in different events like volunteering and stuff, and even some of them when the beginning you're like, oh man, what am I here? But then I end up making like new friends or like learning something. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm glad I did it. So you never know. You never know, and we really need to spread the word about volunteerism and most importantly, youth volunteerism. So this is a group of the volunteers, the folks who did who volunteer at the Vilnius Marathon. This is the official picture. You can see most of them are between 18 and like 22, so really young. Part of this millennial group that we need to promote. We need to show them. We need to encourage them to volunteer themselves and again make positive changes in their communities. Why not, right? So we were really successful with that event, and I'm so glad the J1 Alumni Association was able to like make it happen too. That said, I'm gonna leave here some information in case you guys want to follow the J1 Association, J1 Alumni Association. Here's their Facebook page and Instagram. Also, they have an email. The president told me that you guys can reach at any time with questions in case you need to know more or you want to join the association. Also, the first line, the j1visastate.gov. If you go there, you can find some information about exchanges in the US, some of the programs we do, like summer work and travel or like au pair. And if you're interested, go for it and check on the information. If you have any questions, there's some points of contact there that you can reach out, or if not, contact me directly. Here's my email, perezpf@state.gov, and feel free to reach out, seriously, with questions or with any comments. I would love to hear from you all. I want to say thank you all for like having me here and for hearing me. And I hope to hear from you pretty soon. Thank you all and continue enjoying the event.